Hi, good evening, everyone. So, a very important day today, World Technology Day, the world's digital transformation day, and probably this is the day from when the world is going to change. And we all have to resolve, we all who are there today, we have to resolve that we will change the world, we will digitally transform the world, and make this a better world for everyone to coexist. We are seeing that last one more than a year's time now, almost 14-15 months, we are continuously either under lockdown or either under strict guidelines from the government. And even after trying everything, we are not able to come out of the lockdown situation. We are not able to end this pandemic. So the way forward is to end this pandemic is to digitally transform, and we all will have to play a very crucial role so that we stop meeting too many people, we stop going for larger parties or functions. And how is it going to possible now in the future? How will you do a virtual wedding? Very much possible. A virtual wedding has already started happening, where people have now created virtual schools. You log in the school portal, and you are able to select out of 50 different classrooms, and you get logged in automatically into your classroom, and then you start interacting with the teacher. So that has all started happening now. Digital transformation has been changing organizations and institutes during this pandemic, helping everyone to stay relevant. And probably the way forward is to completely transform our businesses digitally. I feel very lucky, and I feel that probably I'm blessed. And there has been someone who had a larger plan for me, and under that plan only, I was able to get into the technology world. Let me share you my story, what happened with me. So, in my childhood, during my 11th class, 11 class 12 days, no, I had sworn that I will never touch a computer in my life, and I was very firm about it. Like one day, when I like flunked in the first year of engineering, my father told me that now you are at home and doing nothing, so we want you to learn computers. And I told my father that, father, I have sworn that I will never touch a computer in my life. पापा, मैंने भीष्म प्रतिज्ञा ली है कि मैं कभी जिंदगी में कंप्यूटर को हाथ नहीं लगाऊंगा. And then my father like forced me to join a computer class. Twice, thrice he tried. I didn't go to those respective classes, but finally he paid fees in one institute and gave that receipt to me that, Piyush, I have already paid your fees, and I am going to like you have to now take a decision whether to go there or not. And then I joined that institute, and in less than 10 to 15 days, I started loving C++ programming. And in a month's time, like almost 40-45 days time, I became a champion programmer. I started teaching. 3 months later, I was teaching postgraduates. I was like first year engineering dropout at that time, and I had a drop in my first year engineering. And after 3 months of learning in that institute, I was training MCSC pass outs and MSc pass outs, and they were all coming to me to learn programming. So that was the kind of digital transformation that my dad did in my life. And I guess like everyone has to play that role now. Probably you also have to do with your keens also, or your friends also. Help them to adopt to digital transformation at this point of time. So I know a lot of my team members, a lot of my friends, last 1 year, they've been continuously watching web series. People keep on asking me, have you seen this web series? Have you seen that web series? Have you seen this match in IPL, that match in IPL? And I have said no. But a lot of people are only watching web series, not spending any time into learning. Now I'll tell you that if you have watched a web series last year, or let's say you watched one IPL match last year, if I'll ask you now that what was the score in that match, who won that match, who scored how many runs, or what happened in that web series, and at particular moment what did the hero do in that web series, and people will not be able to answer that, because whatever we see in those matches or web series, it is short term. It is just for a temporary entertainment, and it all gets over within couple of days time. You forget everything within couple of days time. But if you learn programming, if you learn technology, let's say artificial intelligence, machine learning, Perl, Python, Red Hat operating system, SUSE operating system, Windows operating system certifications, VMware certifications, Azure certifications, or AWS certifications, or even Enlight Cloud certification. If you did this certification, those will be there with you lifetime. Like one computer coaching has changed my life permanently. So similarly, if you invest this time into learning, the life would change. The technologies which are going to change the future are definitely machine learning, artificial intelligence. We know that autonomous driving would become the next norm. Maybe if the pandemic continues for a longer time, would people feel safe driving in a shared car? Would people feel comfortable trusting a cab driver whom you don't know whether he's positive or negative? So probably that is the future. Autonomous driving is the future. Autonomous drones is the future. Robotic process automation, you want lesser and lesser number of people coming in the factories. You do not want 50,000 people coming in a factory. You want probably 500 people coming in a factory which is so huge that one person doesn't go closer to the another person in that factory. If that is the future, then digital transformation is must. I would also like to talk about the tournament which we saw recently. We saw the half the IPL recently, how it was happening. And 5 years back, if you saw IPL, what changed in those 5 years' time? 5 years back, each and every sponsor of IPL was a FMCG company, a manufacturing company, a cola company. So all the non-tech companies, on all the established enterprises were sponsoring IPL 5 years back. And what is happening now? What is happening now? 5 years later, recently we saw that each and every sponsorer was a tech company, a digital company, a e-learning company, a startup, or a online betting gambling apps. So those are the online, everything are happening online. The betting is also happening online, learning is also happening online, and they are all sponsoring such a cash rich tournament. So the reason was that the IPL also went through digital transformation. No audience in the stadium. So probably in the future also there may not be any audience in the stadiums in the future. Exactly, rightly said. Like business intelligence tools, also BI tools. So analytics, BI, they are going to generate a lot of knowledge, lot of information from your existing data. There are different tools which are there now, big data or data lake. So different tools through which data would be churned, and lot of valuable information, lot of sense would be created out of that data. And with that data you will be able to do wonders in the future, or with that data you get an insight how to take my business to the next level, how to grow my business to the level where we aspire to be. And similar to that, blockchain also, now we are seeing using blockchain technology, the Bitcoin or the Dogecoin. So those are the online currencies which are going to rule the world. Now the European countries, they have clearly mentioned that by 2030 they would be completely switching to digital currency. So they will be completely transforming they would completely demonetize their countries and switch to a digital currency. They will not have any notes or anything which is non-digital. So that's the future, and a lot of countries have adopted that. So future, I don't see so many people like the way Infosys, TCS, HCL, they had offices, and in one campus 25,000 people were coming. Probably that's that's outdated now, and probably that may not happen again in the future. So people of that quantity, of that those volumes, may not be coming to the office. They will all work from home. Now, to create same experience as you meet an individual, no, so you are going to see a lot of technology coming there as well. Like 3D meetings would start happening. We saw in the 2014 election, the technology was there, where our honorable prime minister used the technology to position himself virtually in multiple rallies. At a time, he was doing like 15, 20, 25 rallies where his 3D image was projected, and he was able to address people. Same thing can be done now also. If that was possible 7 years back, why it is not possible now? It is possible now, but we did not wanted to adopt that technology. Now you can have virtual meeting rooms. Everyone would be positioned in a 3D image in a virtual meeting room, and you will be able to, on your screens around you, the multiple screens around you, you will see that, okay, Abhijit sitting here, Rajesh sitting here, and Akshay sitting there. Everyone is there in the meeting room. You will keep on talking to people. So the permanent work from home is a possibility. I think that permanent work from home is a likely outcome, because we never thought about any kind of such situation where such a tiny thing that even 70,000 billion of those together do not create even a small particle. Like you may probably see a grain of salt, but 70,000 billion of those small creatures cannot be seen together. The size that they occupy on a table would be lesser than that of a grain of a salt. Now imagine if something is that small and still evolving very quickly. It is learning very quickly. It is evolving with that kind of a tiny creature. I really think there are lots of challenges, and with the smartness it is building in it, the mutation patterns it is coming up with. I think so. Permanent work from home looks like a possibility, but I do not want to dash the hopes. There are scientific developments are happening. Doctors are coming up with, scientists are coming up with medicines. So there is a possibility also that we will be able to beat this. But you really don't know that something similar would again come in the future, and then again would run through the population. So permanent work from home looks like a possibility, and the scare which this epidemic has created, probably because of that scare as well, people may want for a permanent work from home. So then 3D meetings looks like a possibility. Computer vision is something which is going to evolve with time. Besides computer vision, there are a lot of other technologies, new generation technologies which are coming up. Now, if you see the Gartner forecast, also they have predicted that there would be 25 new technologies that are going to drive the future, that are going to completely transform the world digitally. And in every sector, in farming also, you will see that the farmers are now in Nasik. We see that Sahyadri Agro Farms, they have now become an agro tech company. They are not just an agro aggregator, but they have also transformed themselves into the agri tech company. So same thing is going to happen in every field. We say that 70 crore Indians are dependent on agriculture. But once we switch to all the mobile apps, now there are so many companies who have started apps in Nasik. And on their platforms, they have 30,000 farmers, 40,000 farmers. Those farmers are using the apps to learn what can be grown in their soil, where can I sell my produce. If I am growing grapes in Nasik, how to grow Thompson variety of grape in Nasik. He's getting all the knowledge from that app itself. There are consultants, virtual consultants. There are 30, 40 consultants. All the consultants available at a fraction of the cost. Typically, a consultant takes 10,000 rupees per visit to the farm. But now the consultants are taking like 500 rupees for consulting through the apps. They are guiding online. You find your marketplace online, a rate is fixed online itself, and then only you dispatch your grapes from from your orchard. You do not have to actually take it to the market, and then when you take it to the market, the wholesaler, the buyer says that no, I cannot buy your grape at 150 rupees now. The market has gone down, pay, give me this for 30 rupees. That was happening in the past. So see, we had a lot of pain in the past, but somehow we were happy with it. Somehow we were dealing with it. Right now we are unhappy. We've been locked into homes, so we feel that we are unhappy. But probably this, whatever this is happening right now, is for a better future. Would the Delhi population have survived for another 10 years in that air? Whatever we did to Delhi, what was that good? Was the city livable at all? The city was made unlivable because of all the pollution that had happened. So let's say probably let's say we don't blame China for whatever has happened. We don't blame China. We think about someone's larger plan to change us, to let other living beings also live with us, and that is possible through digital transformation only. So yes, Anand, I agree. Permanent work from home is a possibility, and in UK that's been there. So see, I've been running two companies in UK. So none of our customers ever insisted that I want to come and see your data center. I want to come and meet you personally. 35,000 customers we have in UK, but in UK they do not come and ask for a DC2. They do not say that I will first meet you and then only I will do business with you. We were unnecessarily doing so many face-to-face meetings, so much personalization was happening in India. Was that required? Now, the reason we were doing so many face-to-face meeting, personal things, is because we wanted to keep everything confidential. Our information we wanted to hide from everyone. But now, when everything is digital, you cannot hide anything. So the amount of frauds that were happening, the thefts that were happening in the past, that would automatically minimize. When that would minimize, you will not have tough time in trusting a person. Online you can start trusting people because you can very easily see their reviews, see the testimonials people have given about a company. You go online in Google, search ESDS reviews, good reviews, bad reviews, you go through everything. Then you can decide whether you can trust a company like ESDS or not. So going digital is the way forward. It will fix a lot of issues. When you were going to a person in the past with a briefcase full of notes, and you exchange the notes, and then police came there and then took away that briefcase, that was the situation in the past, because you could not trust a person, so you were trying to do secret transactions, and those secret transactions were being caught by either by the police or either by the robbers who took away all your money. But now with digital, when you are sending a digital payment to someone, when you are doing an RTGS payment to someone, no one can take away that money. And if the person has not delivered, you go to the court, put all the transaction details, everything up over there. Within few days, the courts will deliver their judgment, because the courts would have also gone digital now. So the courts will have all the recordings over there. Courts will start using machine learning and data analytics tool. So similar case happened in the US, similar case in the UK, similar case in Bangalore. What happened there? What judgment was given based on a permutation and combination and an analytics done on that data? Immediately, the Delhi court would be able to give a judgment. So I think so. That's a brilliant future. If this is the future, if this is how we have to live, I think so we should be fine with it. Let's say 1 year down the line we realize that okay, nothing is changing, the way things have been, if they are not changing, are we ready to live in the similar scenario? Yes, let's live. Yeah, but then one thing that you have to transform about yourself is your health, because the digital transformation will take care of the business side of it or the earning part of it. But let's say you are earning a lot, but you cannot live because of very poor health, and then definitely there is no way the family can be looked after. So to be there in the future. Take good care of yourself. Transform yourself. Again, another thing, that important thing that happened with me 6 7 years back. Komal had shared a link with me about a dietitian sharing, an American fitness enthusiast and dietitian sharing something. And from there, I kept on learning, and I transformed myself from 78 kgs. I brought down myself to 60 kgs. And I'm happy about it that today I do not have a belly, because I read that, and even amongst my known contacts also, whoever had trouble, they all had big bellies. So everyone who carried a big pot along with them in the front, they all have been suffering. So it is very, very important to transform yourself also. So physically transform yourself, mentally transform yourself through meditation and through pranayam and yoga. You transform that part also, and then simultaneously, each and every hour of the day, utilize it for learning, utilize it for certifications. That's the way forward. We have so many. So I would like to mention about some of the senior people in ESDS, like Dr. Udaywad and Dr. Kalpesh Parekh. So they are around 60 years old, and these are the two champions who have done maximum certifications in ESDS. And yes, besides them, Dr. Rajiv Papneja also. In last 14 months, 13 14 months, maximum certifications in ESDS done by these three people. Now, age is just a number. And what the youngsters have done, the young guys in the age group of 25 to 30, they have lost majority of their time watching web series. So discipline is extremely, extremely important. Telling yourself that this is an opportunity. This is not an adversity. This is an opportunity for me to learn, for me to gain and transform being happiness to my family. So then you will utilize this time for learning. So great. Let us take some questions also. Yes, thank you, Sagar and Amresh. Yeah, yeah. Yes, let us take this positively. So one thing I have learned that, I learned this because of my father, that every punishment that he gave me, every situation in which he treated me the way I did not want to be treated, but later on I realized that it was for my better. Each and everything, not just the computer coaching experience, but each and everything that he did to me. When I was comfortable doing a job in Mumbai, my father, my eldest maternal uncle, Shankar Lalji Tawri. So these are some gurus in my life. Dr. Jayant Chopde, my HOD from my engineering days, and Shankar Lalji Tawri, my eldest Mamaji, my father, Shri Prakash Chandraji Somani. So these are some people who transform my life by punishing me, by telling me what to do. And I was kind of a reluctant person, never ready to listen to anyone. But they told me why I needed to change, why I needed to leave a job in Mumbai and come to Nasik. I came back to Nasik quietly. I went to another interview. I went there. I did a job there also. But uh, from there also, my father and my eldest maternal uncle asked me to resign. I was probably the most notorious person of Amrutwaini College of Engineering, not ready to learn anything, not ready to focus into any one activity. But my HOD, Dr. Jay Chopre, he punished me like anything. And in his every lecture, he made me stand. 55 minutes every day, he made me stand in the lecture, and he brought a positive transformation inside me. And after giving so much punishment, he told me that, Piyush, I have seen a spark in you, and that's the reason in the entire class I punish only you. I do not punish everyone else in the class. So that's the kind of transformation. So identify a guru as well. Follow someone who is going to transform your life. So guru doesn't mean someone wearing a saffron, or someone who is retired and who is gone in the jungle. Definitely not. A guru can be someone who is already there in the industry. A guru can be from a technology company, a tech firm. He can be your mentor and he can guide you. And follow 2 3 people, learn from them and take guidance from them, and accordingly. Another important thing I would suggest is get into a proper schedule, because I see a lot of people getting up at 9 a.m. I can tell you one thing, that probably the people with belly may be getting infected or maybe surviving. But I can tell you one thing, the late risers would have a big challenge, a tough time in the future. You have to rise before sunrise and plan everything, that okay, 1 hour I will do workout, 1 hour I'll do this, 1 hour I'll meditate, and 9 a.m. onwards I will 9 a.m. to 10 a.m. I am going to spend my time on learning. Then 10 a.m. to 12, 1 p.m. I will do on my online meetings, 1 p.m. to 3 p.m. Again, I will spend on learning. I will do some certification, and then 1 hour, 2 hour again in the meetings, and then later in the evening, 2 hours in the evening, again some certification. So the learning is the only thing that is going to help. 20 to 25 crore people are now required in the IT sector. That's the kind of global demand. And yes, Siddesh, so that's the future. 25 crore IT engineers required now. That's the kind of demand which is coming from the IT sector globally. Indians have the preference globally because we are considered as most talented or most authentic people, trustworthy people. If you see the CEOs of the all top tech companies in the US, UK, mostly you will see Indian people over there. So the countries where English is their primary language, there they prefer an Indian person because we are very good at learning English, and we gel well with their culture. So definitely China or Japan or Germany may not have that advantage, or France may not have that advantage. We have an advantage. But yeah, learning is difficult. Someone who comes from a commerce background, suddenly if you tell that person to learn Perl, Python, Java, .NET, tough time. But breaking out of the comfort zone, that's the only way. You have to decide that I am going to do it. My next 10 days, my next 15 days would be tough, would be difficult. But see, at least you are there. There are a lot of people, workers, laborers, 23 crore people in India pushed into poverty in last 1.5 years because of the pandemic. And whether those people would be able to survive, whether they'll be able to guarantee two meals a day to their family members, you really don't know. And those laborers, those workers or tailors, or those who are working in those FMCG companies, and those who are in the hospitality sector, the waiters. So what is the future for them? Tough. It's a tough time for them. You have an opportunity to learn and earn, kindly do it. But do not survive on the income of your family or the land bank which has been created by your family, because even the land may not fetch any value in the future. When people decide to leave big cities and go into remotest parts of India, and through the loon balloon satellite internet schemes, through the 4G connectivity of Geo and Airtel and BSNL and Vodafone in the future. If people will be able to work out of all the remotest parts of the world, why would they need to come to the city? If you have a land bank in city, I don't think so you will get the best price in the future. Today, whatever best price is there, probably that may not be there for the land bank or in the cities in the future. So we need to be prepared. I am not saying that this is exactly what it is going to be happen, but 1.5 year we are into it and still we do not see any change. It's still getting worse and worse. So probably getting prepared for a similar future is the best way. At least your family can be very happy living alone in isolated place, in the jungle areas, in a village area. Now the Zoho founder, he shifted to a village. All his meetings, CEO, MD of such a big company, of a multi-billion dollar company, he's attending all his meetings from a village. So, and he says that absolutely no hindrance in my work. All his AGMs and all the big board meetings he's doing from the village. So, if you are of his skill, of his level, you can work from any part of the world and still earn $100 million a year. That's the potential of the digital. It's just about the conviction. That's the reason I chose this important day, the World Technology Day, because this is probably the day for everyone to resolve that I am going to learn digital technology. Digital means it's not just programming, it can be digital marketing, it can be online selling. If you are very good at offline selling, just minor tweaks you have to do in yourself for online selling. So, to capture attention of someone, if you are selling online, to capture attention of a person while selling online, you have to continuously ask questions. So, like, let me ask you some question. Can someone tell me which would be the most dominant technology of 2025? What do you think? Is it going to be AI, ML, quantum computing? Answer my question. So this is how I am trying to grab your attention. Same is the way while selling online. You have to continuously keep on asking questions, so that the person doesn't get involved with his WhatsApp. WhatsApp is the biggest disturbance. Facebook is probably the. I'm sorry, I'm using the same platform, but there is no other way to communicate with all of you. But because we are already so addicted to both all these platforms, we do not see them as a hindrance. Also, we do not see them as a platform which is continuously diffracting our attention. To always remain focused, obviously, very well said. EV cars is probably cloud computing would become a commodity by 2025. So yeah, but SaaS, out of cloud, SaaS would be probably the most dominant technology in 2025. Yeah. So maybe IaaS would become a commodity, but SaaS will keep on evolving. And yeah, AI, ML, artificial intelligence, machine learning, robotic process automation. I'm excited about RPA as well. So RPA is going to change the future. Yes, yes, rightly said. Like all of you who have mentioned cloud computing, SaaS, especially SaaS, software as a service, electricity sector. So yeah, definitely there would have come a lot of transformation in the energy sector also. It is anticipated that India alone would consume 100 gigawatts of power for data centers by 2030. Today, the total power consumption of India is 185 gigawatts. That's our today's power consumption. But in 10 years' time, data centers from 200 megawatts in India will go to 100 gigawatts. That is very much possible. And you never know, you actually don't know what kinds of compute consumption all this new generation technology like blockchain. People have mentioned about blockchain or IoT or RPA, quantum computing, humongous power consumption. You don't know, 20 times, 30 times of a normal workload. Whatever workloads we have today, let's say SAP HANA is a workload. Compared to that, 30 times is the utilization in IoT, 100 times in blockchain, and few hundreds of times in quantum computing. That is the consumption that is going to happen. Yeah, definitely. I forgot about augmented reality. Thank you for reminding me. Augmented reality, virtual reality. When you cannot go and attend the marriage function, and if the marriage function is happening online, just wear the gear. You see all the relatives around you wearing that gear. That's the kind of future where you will meet all the relatives. They will also see you in their gear. Everyone sitting at home. uh, the food would come by Zomato or Swiggy. You will get all your delicious food, or maybe our friend Ichamani in Nasik, so he's also coming up with something where he's going to deliver the marriage food to everyone at their home. So have your meal, see everyone around you, real time. They will appear through those big gears. And that's the yeah, smart contracts. Yeah, distributed ledger technology, smart contracts. Yep, 5G would also being a major disruption. With that kind of speed, that kind of performance, we will see huge amount of data flowing everywhere. And bandwidth, good thing is that internet has also become a commodity now, a very cheap commodity. Internet is almost available to us at free of cost. Good transformation bought by Reliance Jio. At 200 rupees per month, we are able to get unlimited internet on our mobile phones. I see people using 25 GB, 30 GB at a cost of 200 rupees per month. We never thought of this 3 years, 4 years back, that we'll be able to consume so much bandwidth at such a fractional cost. So maybe 5 years down the line, people will consume 250 GB, 300 GB bandwidth, or even 500 GB bandwidth per month on their mobile phone using the 5G technology, using the fastest of the fastest Wi-Fi network that will be available to us in the future. So, welcome to the future. I am one of the most optimistic person in the world. Feel that I am blessed. At every juncture in my life, positive transformation has happened in my life. So I am taking this pandemic very positively, bringing positive transformation in me, learning, evolving, and making myself a better human and someone who can contribute big time, helping Shilpa, probably the mechanical world, the production world, construction world, it will also completely transform over a period of 5 years. Mechanical and production engineers have to immediately transform themselves into IT engineers. There will be, even if this pandemic ends, no, very quickly, let's say 6 months, the pandemic comes to end. Let's assume we never know anything. Even in that scenario, mechanical engineers and production engineers and civil engineers would have a tough time in 5 years' time. 3D printing, the homes would be 3D printed, and mechanical, you just put raw material in a machine, and through RPA and 3D printing, you get a complete electric car coming out of it. An autonomous electric car would come out of the 3D printer. So why would you need 1,000 different ancillary shops or 1,000 different factories in a city like Nasik serving Mahindra and Mahindra? What would be the relevance of all those factories when Mahindra and Mahindra would have single machine where raw material goes inside and within 5 minutes a car comes outside? That's the future, and homes will be 3D printed. Architects like definitely Shilpa, Chinmay, architects like you will have to adopt all the technologies, 3D technologies, and CAD CAM technologies. So there are multiple technologies which are now available for architects. I can study a little bit more and I can share more information on that. But digital is the way forward. Maybe your customers would also not come to your office to come and discuss on the project plan. The project plan would also be created online, shared online, demonstrated online. People will buy online. People will buy homes online, or maybe people may not buy so many residences in the big cities. People will start going to the village areas. People will start going to the remote areas. Safety would be a concern by that time, but a lot of digital technologies would come in peripheral security. So by that time, peripheral security would also become so strong that the thieves or robbers may not be able to easily enter into your beyond a particular electric fencing, a smart fencing. Smart fencing is also there. A lot of vendors are already selling smart fencing. So with all those technologies, digital homes, remote homes, homes on the top of the mountains, homes in the shadow of the jungles or mountains, that's probably the future. So the guys who have lost, yeah. So the comment is from Sabya Ladka. Okay. Is it that due to pandemic, the job for sales marketing guy would be lost as corporates would adopt use of technology platform to approach clients? Yes, those who've been selling offline, if you were doing, let's say, door-to-door marketing, door-to-door selling, you have to change. You have to start selling maybe through a WhatsApp video, through Google Meet, Microsoft Teams. There are multiple platforms available to connect on a video with your customer. In the future, you will not get an opportunity to knock someone's door. To knock door of a company or knock door of a residence, next to impossible now. So online selling, digital marketing, we are seeing that digital marketing has become a big thing now. Like Great Ideas in Action, which is run by Komal, they are getting one new customer every day. So probably she also is blessed, and someone probably enlightened her to start digital marketing during the initial days of the epidemic, and they are seeing the success now. They are getting the benefits of digital marketing. Everyone, right from schools to the FMCG companies, everyone coming to them and asking for digital marketing. So digital is the way forward. Uh, Paresh, I don't think so. The next Facebook or Google would come out of India. Reason being that the scale at which Americans plan things, no, Americans or British people, European companies, the funding which they get and the planning which, like in the Las Vegas, also, if you go there, hotel having 3,000 rooms, 5,000 rooms, 50 reception counters are there for check-in. 50 kiosk machines are there for check-in. So that's the scale at which Americans plan things. In India, when we plan things at that scale, you do not get investor. We've seen each and every big building. Check the biggest of the buildings in Mumbai. Most of them, 90% of the projects get stalled because they do not have funding. The banks do not give money. You do not get any external investors giving money. But everyone wants to invest in real estate. Everyone wants to put their money in real estate, but still the biggest of the real estate projects have failed in India, or they got delayed for 10 years, 15 years, 20 years, because we cannot plan a scale. We do not understand the scale at which to do the business, and most of the time we end up making losses when we think of scale. So to make a Google or Facebook in such a short span of time, someone who thinks of a scale and where you get the funding also of that size, investors had started making those kind of investments in Indian startups, but 70 to 80% of those big investments which were made in Indian startups failed. So that's one more reason that investors may not be investing that kind of big money in startups. So let's not think about scale, but identify niche areas. Small problem, but a common problem of millions of people. Small problem, common problem of crores of people. Identify that, find a solution on it. 70 crore people doing farming. Find a problem, solve it. You will be able to reach to the scale of 70 crore people. Yeah, so definitely, Siddesh, Resvera also. Resvera, the only purpose it was started was to make sure it, like I contributed in it, whatever I could contribute with my knowledge, I clearly told the team that you have to come up with something which is very nutritive and which will help people to increase their life, which would help them to reverse their aging. And that is how the concept of Jamun came there. So I hope people are enjoying that, because it was made out of a lot of heart and soul, efforts put by a lot many people there. Komal and Nikhil and Dr. Neeraj Agrawal, Praveen. So they all have put a lot of effort there. I'm happy the outcome that has come there is a good one, and people are saying that they have seen benefits. They have seen benefits of having Resvera. So thank you very much. Yeah. So, what is the technology disruption that you think will happen in the travel and tourism industry? I think so. The hospitality sector, no, travel, tourism, hospitality, remote places where you do not have centralized air conditioning, where you have independent villas of their independent cooling system, or probably in areas which are very cold and do not require any air conditioning at all. Those kind of independent vacation spots would see a lot of benefit. I have recently seen in case of Vivida also. So they also have independent bungalows over there. There is no centralized air conditioning. So The tourists are very, very comfortable coming there. The health enthusiasts are very, very comfortable coming there. Big hotels with 500 rooms, 1000 rooms, they will have a tough time. Or they may probably have to come up with some technology, very heavy duty HEPA filters or some ultraviolet filters or some different unique filters, no, which should be able to clean any kind of viruses in the air. Yeah. So yes, Paresh, thank you very much, and I hope that answers your question, Suresh. Yes, Sandeep. So the mantra for feeling happiness, yeah. So Sandeep, mantra for feeling happiness in doing daily tasks without complaint. As I feel, most of the people lose a lot of energy in cribbing. So as I mentioned, that each and everything in our life is planned, well planned, because I have done Vipassana twice, no. So I've understood that someone inside us is there which is connected to a much bigger energy source of the world, and each and everything that is happening to us is planned by someone far more superior, supernatural, something which is much beyond our imagination. And whatever is happening to us right now, it is all planned by that supernatural power. So we need to accept whatever is happening to us right now. And let me tell you that if a person is to survive, then even 10 times he would be attacked by 10 different viruses. 20 times he may be attacked by goons or anything. He will survive. He will survive. I have seen people where doctors told that this person will die tomorrow, this person will die after 10 days, or this person will die after 3 years, after 3 months, and the person lived for 10 years, 20 years, 30 years after that. So that's, no one can decide who is going to die, but yeah, no one can stop also. If a person is to die, he will die. If my day comes, I'll be very happy. I'll be equanimous. I'll be peaceful at that point of time. I'll not complain. And let's say if anything goes wrong, also, whatever plans I have made for myself, my family, something goes wrong tomorrow, there would be a bigger purpose behind that. So no need to be worried about that. There is plan for everything. Everything that is happening to us, this epidemic has come for a purpose. We did a lot of destruction to the nature, so we should not be blaming China. Definitely there are so many evidences coming out China did it, but someone has made China do this. Someone has forced them to do this, and they have done this on instruction of someone, and that someone is probably not a human. Someone has written this. So let's be happy with whatever we are going through right now, and let us put our 100% effort to make everyone around us happy. By cribbing or by complaining, it is not just you who is bothering yourself, but everyone around you is going to suffer. Everyone around you is going to get disappointed. So do not crib. Enjoy whatever is happening. Enjoy. So Dr. Chandra, very well said. What is my message for the young generation, next generation? Be very, very disciplined. Be creative, and invest your maximum time in learning in this phase. This time has to be utilized for learning, maximum gain, and start taking your own decisions. Start investing. Learn how to invest, where to invest. But because when you start earning, you start investing. When you start investing, you start learning, you start getting experiences, and then out of those experiences, you start learning more, you start earning more. So it is also very, very important not to waste your money. I am seeing people, whatever they are earning, they are spending all that in buying luxurious things, buying clothes, buying getting food, ordering food, expensive food from outside, highly boiled, highly baked, highly, very oily, deep fried oily things people are ordering, and for 500 rupees a plate, 1000 rupees a plate, people are buying, and it is not helping your body. It gives a temporary pleasure to your tongue, but that pleasure ends after a few minutes. Again, next day, the tongue wants more. Again, next day, tongue. It's very similar to getting addicted to such spicy or junk food is very similar to smoking habit. Even I was a chain smoker at one point of time. I was addicted to tobacco. But one fine day I decided, and then after quitting, 1 month after quitting, I realized what stupid person I was. What an idiot I was that I was addicted to such a thing. And you really feel guilty after quitting. You may probably never get that kind of guilt while you have that habit, but when you quit, you feel that what kind of an idiot I was to get into that kind of an habit. So do not get addicted to anything which is non-productive, which is taking away all your savings, which is taking away all your income. Protect each and every penny. For youngsters, I will say that protecting your each and every penny is extremely, extremely important. So I think so. Yes, medical sector, there is a huge opportunity. Hospitals, medical sector. See, in India, we had only one hospital bed per 10,000 people. And if you go abroad, they have one hospital bed per 20 citizens. Such a huge gap. 1,000 times of gap was there, which has to be filled up now. So the hospital sector, the medical sector, the pharma sector, huge potential, huge potential. When you think about a scale of 138 crore population and barely like few thousands of hospitals for them, I see a huge opportunity for the hospitals. So if you have money, you can invest in a hospital. That business is never going to fail. You will always make money in that business. And if you are already in the medical sector, like if you are doing MBBS, you are doing some specialization in the medicine field, you have a huge potential. Keep on learning into it and be open to all kinds of learning. So do not restrict yourself to only one kind of medicine. If you can learn all in a combination, like allopathy, homeopathy, Ayurveda, can I learn all three together? So in the future, master, you will have to be like master of multiple skills. Then and then only you have a opportunity in the future. Yes, so yes, Naresh Patil, share market. You've spoken about share market. Definitely, the way the share market has been responding to this epidemic, very encouraging. Our investors, those who have invested into our companies, they have not given up on any of our Indian companies. So, but see, you need to understand that majority of the listed companies there at the share market who are seeing the growth in their share price are the ones who have stayed relevant to the current pandemic, who have been doing pretty well, whose numbers are getting better and better day by day, like the companies like Infosys and Wipro and TCS, the HCL, their numbers are getting better and better. Banks, banks are showing good profit now. Banks had a tough time, 5 6 years. The Indian banks had big problems. All the banks are giving good numbers now, and the petrochemical industry, they are delivering good numbers. So I think so because each and every company which is there in the share market, they're delivering good numbers, so that's the reason their share prices are going up. And if the situation gets better, the pandemic situation improves even a little bit in by July, August, because by that time rains would have covered the entire India. Weather would become pleasant. People will switch off their air conditioning. People will start moving to in a highly ventilated environment where they will feel very comfortable. That would be the time where the pandemic situation would ease out very quickly. So I think so. share market will continue to get better and better. I don't see any major damage happening in the share market. They will become stronger and stronger from here. That's my prediction. Please do not make a clip out of this because I'm not an expert into. I do not deserve to be there on CNBC or anything, but I see the fundamentals are right of all the companies which are doing well in the share market. So because the fundamentals are right, that's why they will continue to do extremely well. Yeah, as I mentioned, the builders have a tough time, or they will have to change the way they construct. If they continue with the traditional model, they will have a tough time. They have to go through a non-traditional model. They have to adopt technology to construct buildings. They have to adopt digital marketing to sell their buildings. And rather than constructing buildings, maybe people will want to go 10 kilometers, 20 kilometers out of a city and have a proper 1,000 bungalows in that area. And people would love living in those kind of highly secured community areas where the community is also there, but people do not need to use the same elevator, or the people do not need to use the same swimming pool or same common toilets being used by people. That's the way forward. Builders will have to adopt that. So yeah, what's the future of cybersecurity? So I will come back to you. This question on hosting business, I'll come back to you. Give me a minute. What's the future of cybersecurity? Now, perhaps that question itself is an answer, because there cannot be a better time for cybersecurity. Those who are venturing into SOC services, cybersecurity, this is the best time. So let's get into it. Those who can learn cybersecurity, those who can get into SOC services, please, this is the best time for you. So we only have 1 or 2 minutes left now. So let me request you to throw some light on it. Yes, cybersecurity. Then, so non-IT candidate entering IT sector. Swapnil, there is no such restriction. This field doesn't belong. Our IT field doesn't belong to experts only. Whoever is ready to learn, I gave example of Dr. Udaywad and Dr. Kalpesh Parikh, age 58 to 62 age group, and have done maximum certifications, have learned. You see the comments also which have come from Dr. Udaywad. He is the one who is learning maximum things in ESDS. So it's all about the mindset. You just have to, and most of the Elon Musk and look at Steve Jobs, they were all dropouts. Steve Jobs, he was a dropout. He came from a non-IT background and became world's most most popular, most successful tech designer. Yeah. Before starting a hosting business, make sure you have something niche to offer. Just randomly starting a hosting business and not able to cater to your customers, or not able to give them the technology what they want, you should have something very unique, patented technology or something. Then and then only get into hosting business. So thank you very much, everyone. Nice interacting with all of you. I would have loved to continue more. I think so. A lot more people have joined now. We will do this session. We will continue the session some more time, because I have a very important meeting starting at 6 p.m. So thank you very much, all of you. Take care. You all are blessed. God is there to take care of all of you, whether you call it God, whether you call it the supernatural power. There is someone taking care of all of us. Stay safe. Stay at home. Be very conscious. Do not venture into elevators which do not have ventilation. Do not go into shared cars, public toilets. Wherever there is no ventilation, do not venture out over there. Thank you very much. See you soon.